his handling of the impeachment inquiry. So far, 173 Republicans are backing this movement to censure Schiff. Our next guest was the one to bring that motion forward and lead that charge. Congressman Andy Biggs, member of the House Judiciary Committee and chairman of the House Freedom Caucus. Congressman, Mr. Chairman, good morning to you and welcome to you.
Thank you. Good morning, Sandra.
So here we begin another week. Update us on where things stand this morning.
Well, what you're going to see is tonight we're going to have this censure motion go forward on a vote. Then the rest of the week there's a number of hearings scheduled that are closed door behind this continuation of this Stalin-esque Soviet-style impeachment inquiry, and then there'll be a break later in this week because of Representative Cummings' funeral. It's going to take place late in the week, so it's going to be a shortened week, but it's filled with closed-door hearings in the Intelligence Committee again.
What is this move, this charge that you're leading now, 173 Republicans on board? What does it mean? What is the impact of it, or is it largely symbolic?
Well, it's two things. I mean, we want to make sure that the American people understand what Adam Schiff is doing is not the normal way that you conduct an impeachment inquiry, if this were an impeachment inquiry. The second thing is it lets Mr. Schiff know himself how disappointed we are. And thirdly, I would say it gives the Democrats an opportunity to show the American people where they are on due process. And they get to say, look, we're perfectly content with closed-door impeachment inquiry, or they get to say, this isn't quite right. We want to do this the right way. So it's filled with a lot of symbolism, but it's also got the harsh reality to it as well.
We didn't see much of Adam Schiff over the weekend. I don't think he appeared on any of the Sunday shows. I know I've asked you if you've been in touch, and you have not heard from him. We dug back, and this is an October 16th tweet in which Adam Schiff himself, on his own account, said this. Here are the actual facts. Republican members and their counsel are present for all committee depositions and hearings and have the same opportunity to ask questions of all the witnesses as the majority. And rest assured, the public will learn the facts. Obviously responding to public criticism out there that this has not been a transparent process and that this impeachment process has been done in secret. To that, you say what?
Well, normally when you have if this were formalized, an impeachment inquiry, the president would have his counsel there. They'd be able to bring in witnesses. The minority, us, the Republicans, would be able to bring in witnesses. This would be open door and transparent. You could watch it real time. Part of what happens in this type of setting normally is the whole American people get to judge the veracity or credibility of witnesses. We're being denied all of that. We can't even get the transcripts. So when he says we're going to see it ultimately, who's going to be the filter through which we see that? It's going to be Adam Schiff. And he's prevented me, and he's prevented many of my colleagues who've asked for copies of transcripts, and we just don't get them. And so what I would suggest to you, Sandra, is this is being directed and put into, it's being channelized. He's being able to control everything about this instead of letting the American people see what's happening.
Well, he wrote a letter to colleagues this past week. In it, he said this: the special counsels in the Nixon and Clinton impeachments conducted their investigations in private, and we must initially do the same. He's backing up his case that he's made on multiple occasions that in order to do what he and Democrats are trying to do here, they must do it in private.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's easy for him to say, but this thing has been going on for 3.5 years, and he himself has basically tainted the well here, because he's the guy who said for 2 years that there was absolute clear evidence of collusion, and then turns out that wasn't true, and then he's gone forward time after time with misleading statements, right on up to that opening statement he gave in his own hearing. So it isn't that we view him as a fair arbiter. He's not a fair arbiter. And that's part of what this goes to, and that's part of why Adam Schiff is not being respected by the majority here. So what happened in those previous 2 hearings, you actually had bipartisan support for a formal inquiry. That's not what you have here, because they've never even taken the vote, and Adam Schiff has basically, like I say, he's kind of poisoned the well here.
All right. We have another big week coming up. We've put together the witnesses that will be called forward. Tuesday, William Taylor, acting U.S. ambassador to Ukraine. Some names we know, some names we don't. Wednesday, Philip Reeker, Laura Cooper. Thursday, Tim Morrison. Friday. It is going to be another week filled with witnesses that will be brought before these committees in this impeachment process. Final thoughts to you, Congressman, as we obviously wait the vote by you on that resolution tonight to censure Adam Schiff, and we begin another week of hearing from witnesses behind closed doors.
Well, I think what's important for the American people to understand is you're going to see my motion will go straight up, but then the Democrats are going to run a basically a procedural move to try to keep us from having a straight-up vote. But so it's going to look a little upside down, but a no vote means you want censure, and a yes vote means you want to avoid having a vote on the censure. That's what you'll see this evening.
Congressman Andy Biggs from Arizona, appreciate it. Thank you.